I feel. Sometimes I feel like a sardine.
I am lost.
It's November 1st, and I feel like such an idiot.
Hi, welcome back to my live stream, Guinea and Pigs 4x2. Today I'm going to talk about how I had confiscated some orca whale meat. Let me tell you, I hope the FBI doesn't hear that because it's prime. It's about $2,000 a cut. You know?
FBI, freeze!
Oh, whoa,
freeze!
No, it wasn't me.
Put your hands up!
Me. I didn't
We
do
knew
anything.
you did it! We knew. Hands behind your back right now! Hands behind your back!
I'm just an old man.
No, you're a liar!
I'm an old man.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Welcome back. I'm Christina. This is my brother Spencer. And we made this podcast to just show that communication is key in all aspects of life. If there's anything that we talk about today that you would like to hear us talk about more of, or something that you don't hear us talk about that you would like our opinion on, you can always let us know on our social media. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can let us know in the comments below. We're also on Spotify. So if you're, waking up or, getting shot by the FBI, just put those AirPods, Beats, whatever type of headphones you got, and you can listen to us on Spotify.
Yeah, we got plenty of platforms for y'all to listen on. So, yeah, there's a lot of new videos, as you've probably seen, a lot more posts that we've been putting out. Very active on social media now. Been looking into a lot of different things, so expect a lot of content from us coming here forward. And yeah, let's get into it today. There's so much to talk about, but how was your week?
Horrible.
Oh.
Also, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Yeah, I don't know. The FBI raid was kind of intense.
You imagine like the upstairs neighbors heard it. They're like, "Oh fuck, it's the FBI! Put all your shit away. They're coming."
They're just scrambling. We hear them. Bum, 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 bum.
We're like, "Oh shit! Maybe we need to call the actual FBI."
They're like throwing shit out the window. They're escaping out there, having an escape ladder, got a fire extinguisher. Don't ask why. Maybe they're burning all the evidence. Dude, that would be terrible to do in an
Why'd
apartment.
they take the fire extinguisher then? They don't need to extinguish it. They need it to keep burning.
That's a good point. They're actually just going to spray at these trees over here to act like they were trying to put out the fire.
In the opposite direction.
They didn't know how to use it, so it's a great, what do they call those when you're trying to make something up for something? Allegories? I feel like that's wrong.
What?
Distraction? No, it is, but there's another word for it. It starts with an A.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mr. SAT.
Mom, what do you mean, SAT? Didn't you pass yours?
What do you mean pass?
So you didn't pass your SATs. She has an IQ lower than 50.
But there's different scores you can get on it. I guess there's a passing
there is
score,
a passing
but there's
score.
Different scores you can get.
Well, right.
You could be barely passing.
Okay, I didn't
Or
say.
you could be passing.
Is that what the teacher does when they come up? You pass.
And then it just keeps repeating because it's actually a video game on loop, and that's the only line the character has.
Oh my god.
Passing.
Oh, you bring up already.
Passing.
You bring up something that I actually, somebody had stated this. It was the people who record and film people for concerts and stuff. They were talking about how they can be hologrammed. Have you heard of those concerts where they do holograms for even dead artists?
No, never heard of that.
Okay, so this is a thing. I don't know if they've done it for Juice WRLD, but they had to have if they're doing it for other people. I know they've had a Michael Jackson one before.
Isn't that just like watching a concert on TV or something?
Well, you would think, but if you have the right lighting, it can look very realistic. It's claimed, and again, I don't have all the sources for this. I just saw this information. I'm like, interesting, because it's definitely possible. You've heard of artists lip singing to their own songs where they get caught.
Every artist, yeah.
Right. So if every artist does that, wouldn't they have holograms at some point that look so identical to them that it's hard to tell because of all the lights on stage? They can make somebody look realistic. Like, we have the abilities to do that.
I guess, but I feel like most like artists like they love touring. Like that's their favorite thing to do is to go out and tour and travel the world and see things. If it was just a hologram, like I feel like they would be in it for the money if they were going to go that route versus actually being there. Like they're
That's a
only
good
there for the
point.
money versus being there for the artistry or like seeing the fans or being able to experience like the adrenaline of being on stage.
Yeah, I actually do agree with that because, you know, it depends on the concert because I don't know if you've also heard, there's been artists that will cancel their shows because of like reasons that are not valid enough. Like if you were making an excuse for your teacher, they would be like, give me the work. Come on now. It's like stuff where, you know, they don't want to play for a certain set of fans or, oh, like they're too tired. And I'm like, what? Why are these valid excuses? Like, even if they're tired, they can hype themselves back up. You have like thousands plus people who paid to see you.
I guess, but I think some artists like overdo their tours. They make their tours too long, which isn't like, I guess partially is on the artist, but partially it's really their management team because they're the ones that set up the tour. They're
Right.
like, oh, well, you need to do this. Okay, well, now we need a European leg and an Australian leg, and like you need to travel the whole world. And I could see how they could get tired. I mean, you look at Taylor Swift, she does like 3+ hour shows, and she's been on tour since last year, and her tour doesn't end until like sometime middle of next year, I think. Like she's doing these long shows for a long period of time. I could see how someone would be tired by that.
Right. I mean, that seems very extensive, but I also heard she dropped an album that has a lot of tracks on it.
31 tracks just dropped, I think last Friday. Yeah. She
Man,
also
so
still
long.
has 2 re-record albums that she hasn't dropped yet, which is Reputation and then her debut album, which is, I think it's just her name, Taylor Swift.
Re-record?
So the record company that she was with, she ended up, I guess, leaving them or something, and the person ended up selling her masters
Oh,
to
yeah.
Scooter Braun. And obviously, since he owns it, he's going to make money off of it. And so she didn't own her own music, and she didn't want that. So she decided, well, if I can't, get my music back, then I'm going to re-record. And it's a smart move by her because with her re-records, one, like people that maybe weren't fans at the time that album dropped now get to relive that release again. And also, she's been dropping what she calls vault tracks, which are tracks that never made it onto the original album. So the album's longer than it originally was. And I don't know for every album if she's done this, but she's also done like music videos for like songs that she maybe never had a music video for, or like for her vault tracks, she'll do music videos for those. But I mean, she basically gets double paid to release an album. She already got paid for it when it originally released, and now she's getting paid for it now that it's getting re-released, but she owns it. So she gets to decide what happens to her music instead of some, record label that's all about the money. So she still has 2 more records that she still needs to re-release that people are still waiting on, but she just dropped a brand new album last Friday, 31 tracks.
Yeah, that's an extensive amount. What I will say on her going that route, I think it's dangerous to go that route, but it's the best route that you can go because she's living to her truth. It is her music, ultimately, but a lot of people get killed when they own their music. Nipsey Hussle, Michael Jackson, and there's so many other names that I can come up with, where they owned their music, and those people died in their own ways.
Well, there's a lot of artists now that are trying to own their music. I think I recently heard Dua Lipa now owns all her music. There's a few artists that sold their music, which didn't make any sense to me. Like Justin Bieber, he sold his music catalog to somebody else. Katy Perry did the same thing.
It makes sense with those two. Bieber's whole affiliations are getting worse and worse from what I'm aware of. So I think that's why he's doing that. He's trying to get as much money as he can to lawyer up. I don't know if you've heard about that. Kim Kardashian's done the same thing.
She doesn't have any music. What did she sell?
Not for music.
She sold to, like,
Same
her
with
business?
same with Bieber's. It's not about that. It's about the island. Because their association with it. Because it was weird, like seeing all these different things where they're like, now they're trying to, you know, step back and kind of get that whole thing situated. Which there was a video that actually was released of a reporter on that island. One that I actually knew too from past stuff that I've listened to. I think it's Luke Rodowski, but he actually was on the island and he got footage of the different areas. Now they cleared it and everything, but you know what it looks like now based off of the different areas that were there. And from the people that were there, like the helicopter flights, the boats that came in. So it was pretty cool to see somebody like, especially somebody that I knew like on there. Not in person, of course, but from my listening and stuff of getting information. But that association with them is, I think, why they might be taking those actions. They're trying to get the money and stuff. But also, he could be going through another whirlwind of things. I don't think mentally he's doing the best.
Oh, yeah, no, a lot of people have definitely said he's declined. I don't think he's really released anything in a while. His last album was Justice, which was released, I think, a few years ago. But, I mean, haven't really heard from him much since. There's a lot of rumors of his wife being pregnant, and then there's rumors of them, like,
Breaking up.
Getting a divorce.
Yeah, because I see that stuff at the stores, because the magazines, it's all about that stuff. Where's Prince Harry? Where is Kate? And I'm like, all right, every time I go to the store, I get updates on it.
Well, it came out that Kate, I guess, has cancer.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people were saying, oh my God, she got a BBL.
What is that?
It's a Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, man, I haven't heard that term in a long time. They pulled that from the 1960s.
It's a popular surgery, but it's actually a very dangerous surgery.
Yeah, as anything in that regards, like, because you're taking different areas of, well, actually, I don't know how Brazilian butt lifts are specifically, but I do know when you're doing facial surgery, they're having to like tear other parts of yourself up just to get the skin to be like that. And sometimes it is molding that they put in there, but sometimes they use other parts of the skins.
Ooh.
Like your forearms or just certain areas. And it kind of is, it's crazy. I mean, people will do it though. And I don't think there's anything necessarily against it. You want to look a certain way that you want to look, but to me, natural as you can be. That's just how it should be. Which is, I mean, there's a lot of people in Austin. I think Austin is the culture for tattoos as well, but we have a lot of tatted people here. I don't know if you witnessed that. You probably don't go into the heart of Austin too much.
Bro, you just gave our location again.
That's not a giveaway. It's not a giveaway. They already knew we were here.
We're narrowing it down even more. We're going to have people outside our door soon, like, where's the chicken?
Where's the chicken? Are we cooking for them?
We're going to start having a barbecue in here.
Any particular reason?
Well, just because people are showing up, we want to feed them.
Yeah, we don't know that. They don't know where we're at yet.
Yet. About to start dropping pins.
Be like, yo.
Here's my Addy.
You guys trying to cook some duck? Pull up.
You guys met Affleck before?
He got toasted.
Dang.
The whole insurance company would come after me. They'd be like, you killed our mascot. You're dying.
Why do they sound like a synth?
Because they are. Fuck the insurance agencies.
I mean, true.
Yeah, insurance in a way can be very much a scam, but I also understand it's a security thing, which brings me perfectly segued into something that happened today. So I was shopping at one of the stores, and I come back out, and I had my windows down, and I normally don't lock my car. Pay attention to that.
Not only did you give location, you also told them you don't lock your car.
They don't know what I drive yet. Wait. No, I don't have it on my profile either, but...
Imagine you just have a picture of your car on your profile.
I'm like, this is my baby. They'd be like, My Strange Addiction, Part 2.
It's actually Part 3.
Oh, yeah, there was a Part 2 with that.
Yeah.
But But this was a security guy that looks over the store, and he has one of those like motorized scooters that he rides on.
Oh, like the guy over here.
Exactly. And this person parked literally in the way of my car, and that was the first thing I noticed when I was walking back to my car. And then I was like, where's the security guy? And then I saw him walking because he was behind this other car, and then he had walked out just as I got to my car, and he saw that I was walking toward it. He's like, is this your car? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, did you know you left your windows down? And I'm like, yeah, I know I left my windows down. And he like just looked absolutely like shocked that I made that statement. And I think it's because I'm not like most people.
Dun, 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 Judge Judy.
Judge Judy continues this evening.
Because most people lock their cars, especially in Austin. There's so many thefts that happen here. I know, because somebody broke in and stole my car.
Well, that had to do with other things like this apartment complex, which the gate thing happened again. We'll get into that story afterwards. Let's finish this part. So the guy was confused, and then I made the statement. I'm like, I don't really have anything valuable in there for people to steal. And like, again, my car is hard to steal because mine's all electronic. If you do not have the fob, which mine doesn't even work if it was in range to turn on the car, I literally have to plug it in every time. So even if they stole the car, yeah, they couldn't because they would need it.
They stole the car and you were just standing there like a sim. They couldn't steal it.
They couldn't. My sim powers. My house would come after them.
It just like uproots itself and is like, it's like up.
I attach balloons to the house. They're like, what is that kid doing? He's going to go to the stars.
Wait, no, somebody gets into your car and you're like, oh no, you just start chopping it home and you just start putting the balloons up. They're like, what the hell is this guy doing? Don't question it. Bing, 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 bing. And then it's like, who's in a balloon that I know? Is it Dr. Doofenshmirtz? Does he have a little balloon
Yeah,
thing?
I think he does, yeah.
That's you following your car? You're like, I'm going to get you, bud.
Wait, in my car, who am I trying to chase?
You're trying to chase the person that stole your car.
Wait, but how would I do that with my car, though?
No, you're in the house. The house is following the car. That's why you ran home to put the
ran
balloons
home.
on
Okay,
there.
wouldn't it be more efficient if I did that and attached all the balloons to the store? Then the whole store is coming out.
Wait, you imagine people are done shopping and they just like, they're walking and they just fall?
No, the cart falls and only one item falls out. It's their bread. They're like, damn it, I gotta go get more bread. And they just turn around like nothing happened. It's not like they're about to fall down.
People start falling from the sky. Chicken Little was right.
That was Chicken Little in his prime,
Okay.
by the way. He hit 2 home runs that season. But so the guy kind of looked like a bit like, okay, and then he was kind of laughing about it. He just was like, okay, because he was really not expecting that, but at the same time, he thought it was really funny because he's like, why would somebody do that?
Or he's now going to steal your car. You gave him a good idea. He was like, okay.
But again, I'm coming after him with the store, so be prepared. But it was an interesting thing because I was like thinking about that. I'm like, that is a lot of people. They always want a sense of that security. And that's in many regards. We talk about Norton LifeLock, who's not sponsored on here, mainly because their infomercials are bomb. But
I got another email by them that was like, thank you for your Norton LifeLock subscription. I was like, I didn't subscribe to anything, but okay.
Have you ever responded back to these people?
No.
Oh, I have.
I reported as spam.
Oh, I always say something back, but I never get a reply.
Yeah, why would they want you to click on the link? They don't want you to reply to them.
No, normally there's a guy that I used to watch that does scam emails, and he will have like a long dialogue with them. I just want to create one of those. And I have some of the stupidest remarks. I'll just make one off the top of my head. Did you know that you left your Cheetos back in my office last week? That's why I just reply back with the email when they send that.
That's why they're not responding, because you're starting with that. You gotta be like, hello, like, yeah, can you tell me about the subscription? And then when they answer you back, that's when you hit them with the, why'd you leave your hot Cheetos in my office? Your Cheeto crumbs are all over my desk. I know it was you. You vacuum.
And then I have a picture of somebody's fingers that are covered in Cheeto dust. And I'm like, you were the culprit. These are your hands, right?
I'm like, you better bring those hands over here so I can lick them.
Oh my God. And then below it, I hope we don't get fired for that.
Winky face. And that's when they stop responding. So like, what the hell?
2 weeks later, I send them an email of a pool, and I'm like, you want to dip in? And then I have the little water emoji.
You want to dip in, and it shows you with the Cheeto fingers.
And the bag of hot Cheetos. And then I tell them afterwards, I'm like, don't worry, I picked him up from the office, winky face.
No, and then they don't respond, so you send them another email, and you're like, I feel like our love is undeniable. And you show a picture of you stealing a whole cart of Cheetos for them. You're like, I did this for you, winky face.
And it has the security behind, like.
And that's when they recruit you for their scam business because you've shown potential.
Potential. They'd be like, damn, is that photo real with the security officers? I'm like, no, actually, it's just 2 pillow pets that I formed using Adobe Photoshop. And they're like, oh my God, so cool, man. And I'm like, yeah, you want to dip in the pool now? I'm still like on that. I'm like, please come to my pool party, 7 p.m. We're gonna have so many hot Cheetos.
And they're like, all right, you got me.
And then they fly in from India. Not that all of them are there, but again, a lot of the call centers, a lot of the scam people get them from India for sure.
They making that bank though, because people fall for them.
Exactly. And this is that other sense of security. Like the older individuals are more susceptible to it because they might not have somebody in their life that cares for them anymore, but they have a lot of money and they're like, I don't know how to do this. What?
You said they might not have anyone in their life that cares for them. Damn.
I didn't know that was hitting home. I didn't know you were old.
I'm actually 52.
Oh my gosh. Do you have dialysis?
Do I have?
Actually, not all 52-year-olds have dialysis. First thing that came to mind, I could have said that you had
back problems.
oh gosh, a herniated
I already
disc.
have back problems. But...
We need a stretch.
Oh
Incorrect.
no, because it hurts my legs.
What?
I've been doing Pilates. I'm on day 6 now. Ooh, it killed my legs
Pilates?
yesterday.
Is it Pilates like a class?
Not like it's a YouTube video.
Oh.
I do it with her.
I thought you were doing like midnight jogs with them or something.
That is not what Pilates is.
No, I know that, but you're doing midnight jogs too. You jog out and you're like, yeah, I'm going out for my jog. You don't recall doing this the past 7 days?
It's day 6. Day 7's tomorrow.
Oops. Got me.
Yesterday, absolutely obliterated my legs. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to walk today, and I had to work.
What? What are you doing? Is it squats and stuff
It's a
like
bunch
that?
of different stuff. I can send you her page.
Not
if you,
really,
oh.
but no, you can send it. I'm interested. I actually don't know a lot about Pilates, but I also need to stretch more. That is somewhat of a stretch thing.
Yoga is
But you
more
still have.
stretching.
I was about to say, yoga is where to go.
Yoga
It's
is
all about your
stretching.
breathing.
Pilates is like working out, but not to the point of like you're gonna throw up and die.
Who's working out like that?
Well, no. You ever heard of some people that like go to like a trainer and the trainer like is like pushing you until you like literally throw up?
Right.
Yeah, no. That's what you're not supposed to do.
Well,
Did you know that you can end up in the hospital and actually potentially die from working out too hard?
But yes, but that's like pushing your body to any extreme. I can give you the most extreme examples. We can talk about David Goggins running on broken legs for miles and miles and going through 3 hell weeks. Human capabilities is not just physical, it's mental. So the people
Why is he running on broken legs?
You have to listen to his story. Thank you. But his story is very insane about all the stuff that he did.
What was he in the wilderness? Like he just needed
No. He was Navy SEAL training. And that is probably one of the hardest trainings that you can have going into the military.
Okay, well you could have said that. I thought he just like like
You turn into a
voluntarily.
seal.
No, I thought he just like voluntarily was like, oh, both my legs are broken. I'm gonna go for a run now. And I was like, okay, that's on him. He's the dumbass.
The doctor came in with the sledgehammer. Bink, bink. Is that what you wanted? Oh, I feel great, sir.
Now I can go for my 10K.
No, he has some of the craziest stories. He had never had training to run. He ran 100 miles at 300 pounds. Now, he was pissing and shitting himself. He was pissing out what looks like Coca-Cola.
Okay, you did not need to
The
tell me
viewer
that.
discretion advice.
You have to say it before.
Sorry, you got it now. But we'll put it, no, we're going to leave it like that. I was going to say, we could put it up before where it's just like the actual viewer discretion is advised. And I could do the voice if they wanted me to. I'll even wear my cap.
Cannot see you. They can just hear your voice.
No. I can put it in the video,
You're
ma'am.
gonna put in a clip of you already looking like that, except without the white hair.
Exactly.
Speaking in that voice.
I'll have to have like a headband, like pulling my hair back to make sure that my hairline's as faded as possible for the video. But okay, David Goggins can do that, and a lot of people can. It's just the physical is going to be a restraint, which is why it's going to throw up, because your stomach's not used to that intensity, and you're using your core for a lot of different exercises, especially legs. There was one leg day where I was like, why is my core injured? We didn't even use it. But
Injured? Did somebody come and hit you?
sledgehammer.
Oh my god.
The super sludge, actually.
And you weren't dead?
Nope, because I can handle more than 50 damage. Are you kidding me?
Might need to step back yourselves in.
But yeah, I mean, people can withstand anything, honestly. It's just, do you have the mental capacity to pass that? Also, your breathing matters too. That's what I was going through today. I worked out on 3 different occasions. I don't know what it is lately. I've been on like this I need to work out basis, like so heavy. Like 3 times in one day, not normal for me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it is, but it's a lot. It's good because it's helping me, because being more at home and doing all of like the camera work, the video work, I'm sitting more of the day, and I think there's more of my energy building up, and I'm like, I have to go do something or it's going to be a problem. And it's good to, you know, transmute that energy into something that's healthy, instead of going to the local store and being like, yeah, can I get all the psychos that you have in stock? And then I'm hitting them and I'm like, high as shit. Not the idea. But transmuting that energy is what I wanted to do with the workouts. And I want to get to the point where I do feel sore in those areas so I can let them rest whenever they are sore. But it's been hard to keep up with that. And with working out too, is testing different strategies, like how your legs are sore now. Let's say you keep doing this and let's say it's the same exercise, your legs will eventually become accustomed to that thing. So even if the person threw up the first time, they're probably not going to as much moving forward, because the more that you train that area or the way of training, the better. Like if your trainer does the same exact workout with you each week or each time, you're not going to get a growth at some point. It's going to start to inhibit the growth, because muscles have to be grown by, it's got to feel like work. Not only do you have to feel like you're sweating, they want to feel sore, like they want to give out in a manner. Not to the point where they actually are giving out, but if that's the point, you know that your workout should be complete then, at least for that muscle group.
And so now you're walking around and you can't pick anything up.
I can tell you about this all the time when I do leg workouts. You have your deadlifts, you have your glute workout where you're pulling it from behind. I can't demonstrate it here unless I get on the table. I'm not going to do that. Your glute bridges, that's the name of it. Your regular squat, like your back squats, your front squats, your goblet squats. You have, I don't know what these ones are called, but they're the one-legged ones. You could call them, there's pistol squats, but pistol squats are harder because you have to hold your leg out and then you're just coming down with this knee. So an example of that, I mean, you could, that would kind of be live, but you're coming down
That'd be kind of live.
like that. It's on live television. But you're coming down just with one leg and you're holding one leg out. There's so many different types, but with all these different exercises, there are times when I am doing Instacart where I'm like, I can't get out of my car.
Well, I just mean like you're walking around the store and you're like, oh. Not like
I have seen people like that, and
Not
they're
like
usually cracked down.
not like you're gonna shit your pants, but like your legs are about to
My-
just give out.
Somebody's gonna be like, get the toilet paper, this man's about to shit himself.
Oh my gosh, should I tell you about the time? So I was working at Walgreens, and this old man, he walked into the store.
I know this story.
And he just like, he kind of like wiggled when he walked in, and then he walked straight back out. And one of the other shift leads goes, you guys, there is human shit on the floor. At first she thought it was dog shit. And so she went to clean it up, and we went back to the cameras because we're like, nobody saw a dog in the store. Sure enough, it was the man that a turd dropped out of his shorts. But now my question is, what, was he not wearing any underwear? How did it pass through the underwear and the shorts?
Okay. This, you just segued into something even crazier that I'm gonna tell you. Okay, but that story in and of itself, I remember when you told me it, and it was insane, and that's a great point. How did it get through? How did it get through?
He's not wearing them tidy whities, that's for sure.
He's not wearing no adult diapers either, which apparently are necessary at this point.
Sir, let me take you to the depends aisle.
They're dependable, I promise. He's like, okay, and then he shits as he's going through. That's still a very crazy story though. An old man comes in, shits in the Walgreens, walks out. I mean, I would probably be very embarrassed too.
But why didn't he go to the restroom? Like he would have had to have sat
He had
down
no
in his
time.
car with just shit smearing.
I can tell I know from experience. Okay, so the story that I have is very crazy. There's that one whenever I was a kid, but the one that I wanted to talk about, I had an Instacart delivery, and it was, I believe, a Total Wine order. And I was delivering the alcohol, and I was waiting for the person to answer the door. They kind of took a little bit. Actually, I think I had to call them because they could not hear me knocking and ringing the doorbell. Not the first time. Some people have giant houses. His wasn't super giant, but I think he may have even been in an apartment complex. But how he answered the door. He comes up and opens the door. He's wearing a white t-shirt. Nothing else. Nothing else. And I'm not looking like at anything. I can only see from peripheral that this is the case. But I'm like, of course, not certain. And I'm waiting for him to grab out his ID. So he's holding his ID probably down like right here. So I went to scan it. And of course, what's right next to it? He's just got his dick hanging out right there at the bottom of his shirt. Old man, probably in his 70s or 80s.
Oh my God.
Took his ID and he makes this statement after, like probably 2 seconds after I had seen that, like actually like had seen it. And he's like, oh, sorry I didn't come out here with all covered up. And I was just like, yeah, it's all good.
He says it like it's so casual. Oh, sorry.
Okay, very valid things that people had said. Imagine if that was a female. Just imagine if that was a female delivering it. And that's how he came out. I'm not saying it's acceptable for a male, but a male understands what a fucking... I'm not saying females don't. I'm just saying they shouldn't have to walk up and see that, especially an old man's... It's just... It was an experience.
We used to have a customer that, like... would come into the store and he had his little, like, one of those electric wheelchairs.
Oh, yeah.
But his zipper would always be undone and you could always see it. Like, he wasn't wearing any underwear. And so, like, I remember my boss at the time was a guy, and he would always, like, make sure that the women, like, in the store, like, weren't around him or anything like that. He was like, guys, like, just be careful, watch out.
Can't they tell him to not shop anymore, or at least put on some clothes? Because that's
Well,
every
he had
policy.
pants on. It's just the zipper was down.
Did nobody want to tell him, or it was purposeful? He's like, I'm gonna get the ladies today in my cruiser.
I honestly, like, I don't think that he knew. I genuinely don't think that he ever knew. Because he would just
what is with the non-underwear wearing? What is
I
this?
don't know.
It's just like not in the wardrobe for old people. They're like, nope, we don't need to buy any more underwear. Mine got torn up by the dog.
I think they struggle enough to put their pants on, so having to do that twice.
Fair.
They're like, nah, just once.
Just once.
Or for some, not at all.
They just come to the door t-shirt. That's it. That's all you
Well,
need.
my question was going to be, was the t-shirt like long enough to cover it? But apparently
Just
not.
barely not. Barely not. Because I will say it was a long white tee. Not long enough to cover. Yeah, it was an experience.
Also, why is he holding his ID down here? Like he purposefully wanted somebody to look.
Yeah. And I wonder if he noticed that it was a male delivering to him, like because of my picture.
He was like, oh, hey, baby.
Let me slide in your DMs, huh?
What's your at?
What's your WhatsApp? I'm trying to steal your bank account. He's the scammer, but he's so old because he's got scammed so many times by those people. He's like, I'm going to do it to these people. And I'm going to do it while not wearing any pants. Fuck the underwear, too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those very crazy experiences. And that just kind of talked about the double ends of that. Like people who are overexposed and people who want a lot of security. There's definitely some extremes on that. Because there's people, again, we talk about COVID times that would not leave their house, both double things locked. Windows were like airtight shut with as many curtains as they possibly could to make sure nothing got in. Because that's one sense of security. And then there's the people who are frolicking in the flowers through the hospital during that time, not wearing any protection.
They were frolicking in the flowers through the hospital? Were the flowers in the hospital? Or
They were
was this
taking it
before?
out of the vases for the people who got better. That's how fucked up they are.
They said, and that's mine, and that's mine. I don't like sunflowers. And that's mine.
These are nice tulips.
Were they eating it?
Exactly. This person's crazy, but somehow they're in the hospital. Somehow they work
That's
there.
why they're in the hospital. They need to go back to the psych ward. That's on floors 11.
Do you know that's kind of how hospitalization started?
It was a psych ward?
Well, with people who had like mental disorders, that's how it started. They were treated as the same people. They would even put them in jails, which is crazy to think. You put somebody who's like psychotically crazy in their head in a jail.
Stop picking.
I know, you don't need to make remarks to the team. You don't need to worry about me tearing the chair. But they would go to jail and they had to be treated like that. And then eventually they got rid of psych wards because that's not how you fix the problem of people who are crazy.
And they started lobotomies.
Yeah, it was around the same time, actually. It probably had started beforehand when it was kind of, under the table, like, yeah, I got a dealer who will poke you in the head.
I still don't understand, like, who thought that was, like, logically going to fix someone.
No. It was logically possible back in the day because we didn't know too much about that part of stuff. Because we thought about killing the problem head on, like literally head on. But it doesn't fix the issue.
Yeah, let's scramble your brains up real quick.
Well, that's not the intention. The intention is to get the bones to kind of move as well, too. Like, you're trying to chip past, like, it would go through the eye, which was terrible. I'm like, why would you choose that spot? And sometimes above the head right here.
Didn't they, like, not, like, put people under anesthesia or anything when they did that, too?
No. I guess it kind of depends. I don't know if they had anesthesia back in that time
They
for all of them.
definitely did.
Okay. Well, I'm not aware of the background. Can you give me some more background info on it?
Well, I just, like, I think my understanding of it was, like, they were trying to make people that were mentally ill better, but, like, it actually hurt people. Like, they didn't put them under anesthesia. They were actually worse after getting the procedure done. Some of them were, like, nonverbal after that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because depending on which hemisphere you mess with, it messed with speech. What really sucked is kind of how it started. There was that guy, Phineas Gage. Holy shit, I'm surprised I remember that name. Phineas Gage was the first person who underwent it, but he had an accident at a factory, and a metal rod ended up going through his head. And when he came back to work after he recovered, like he was just more angry, more aggressive, and was just not doing, he wasn't orderly, all of this stuff. And it's because it hit his frontal lobe, which is ultimately like your decision-making process, which is why like that differentiates child to adult, because it's the last thing that grows a part of the brain, and that got affected. But then it also messed with his speech a little bit too, and his ability to remember, which there's two different types of like remembering things, because two sides of the brain, whether it's like the words themselves or the sound, it's very interesting. I won't go into those too much, but that's kind of how that started, is with him. And then they're like, okay, it could be good, because at first he wasn't showing too many of these crazy symptoms, but then over time, the longer that it went on, like that recovery just can't happen. You can't build, it's hard to build back those synapses because your brain's like that. But there's also cases of individuals where you can cut out an entire side of their brain, or the entire side of their brain just doesn't even work, or it didn't develop. And those people are able to actually function properly because they've used not only our newer technology like stem cell research, where they're able to build off of that, but the synapses will recover what they can from the other side that's missing.
It's better to do it when they're a child, though. There was like an episode in Grey's Anatomy where they talked about like this little girl, they had to cut like, I think it was like part of her brain out. And the parents were like, oh my God, is this going to affect her? And he's like, no, she's young. Like she's still going to be fine if we cut part of her brain out. But like as you get older, you can't do that.
Right.
Like they're not going to be the same person.
You still can. It's just, I would argue that either one is still kind of equal in a manner. And it's because a child's brain can form more of those missing synapses because it's smaller at the time. But I will say that adults could still do the same thing at full functionality as well, because again, there's whole sides of brains that are missing that they're able to function in a manner. They just have to adapt to it like we always have, because our brains have not always been the same size. Same with head shapes. Like if you go back through history of us, we have different head shapes, different sizes, different brain sizes, configurations. That's what makes us all unique in a manner, is that our brains are all different in that regard. Like some of them can be bigger, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're more intelligent, but it means you could be more likely to.
It means you got a big head.
Exactly. I mean, if you got the Peyton Manning forehead, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, because he's got a hairline. I mean, I'm getting there soon, so I just got to make sure my head gets bigger.
Oh. What are you trying to be like, Megamind?
I remember like that would be the easiest thing that I would think of when I like shaved my head. I was like, me and Megamind, if I just painted myself blue.
You have to paint yourself like every day.
Not really. Well, or I could do like a melatonin thing of like switching my whole skin to blue. I think that's possible.
Melatonin? So you're going to go to sleep and then you're somehow going to become blue.
Oh, sorry. The melanin. Sorry. In the skin.
I was like, melatonin.
Oops, you're going to sleep forever. Melatonin, by the way, have you ever taken it?
No.
I would not recommend.
That's funny. A lot of people really like, so Kourtney Kardashian has a brand. It's called Lemmy. And she has a bunch of different gummies. Well, she actually has really good reviews on it, except people went to look at her ingredient list. And the big thing that she's always talked about on Keeping Up with the Kardashians is how much she does not like sugar. She won't give her kids sugar. Like, she really, like, watches the food that her and her kids eat. There's sugar in her gummies. And people are like, how are you going to preach about that and then put it in your gummies?
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of people have said, she has these sleep gummies, which I do believe have melatonin in them. But a lot of people have said, like, melatonin doesn't work for them, but those gummies will knock them out. So I don't know what else she puts in them, but...
I don't... See, that's the thing with melatonin. Melatonin, you naturally produce it already when you go to sleep, but there's people who do lack it. And melatonin... It's not that it can't put you to sleep necessarily. I just don't like the after effects. I also don't like how I sleep. Like something that's in it, like it has like this tension in my head that is just, it hurts in a manner the next day where I'm like, I do not want to go through that again. I had taken it maybe once or twice because, you know, having the issue of going to sleep beforehand, but this is the energy drink times and stuff when I was just consuming way too much caffeine and sugar. And there was no way I was going to go to sleep taking that. And I don't understand how people do, but at the same time, I do understand. It's just like they have a lower amount, but I'm like, I'm glad they don't feel like this because this feels awful.
Well, another thing that people say which helps produce the melatonin in your body is red light.
Right.
They say to
red
turn a
light
red
therapy.
light on at night, and it'll help you go to sleep faster.
Right. There's many methods. One of the methods that I used at one point is like you breathe and then like you slowly like rub your knees because you're
just in your bed. You're like,
okay, why are you going fast? You're trying to go to sleep. What do you clean?
I'm trying to hurry to go to sleep.
You're trying to clean out the cat litter boxes is what it looks like.
I've never heard of rubbing your knees. I have heard of if you don't move for up to 10 minutes, you'll fall asleep. Like if you are in one position for 10 minutes, your body will just fall asleep.
Interesting. I can't say I disagree because I would get how that could be the case unless you're doing it in the middle of the day.
Well,
it's harder to
what
sleep.
about the people that work overnights? They would have to do that.
Yeah. They would already be asleep though. That's a part of their sleep schedule.
But again, if you're not moving for 10 minutes, like...
But you also they would be tired at that point. I'm trying to make the point of where you wouldn't be tired. Don't talk about the people who work overnight. They're champs though.
But if you're not moving for 10 minutes, like your body's gonna be like, all right, we're shutting down, bye.
See, that's what I'm saying. I could get it, but at the same time, I just don't fully agree with that notion. Because how would I be able to do that in the middle of the day unless I was tired?
Well, you wouldn't be sleeping in the middle of the day unless you're tired.
Right.
This is just a method for like people that are having trouble
Okay.
sleeping. Stop moving for 10 minutes. Although I do believe during the day, like, because you're always moving a little bit, like you're fidgeting with your fingers or something like that. Like you're always
No,
kind
but
of
that's
moving.
what I'm saying. The reason why I say this is because melatonin is not produced during the day. It's produced at night. It follows your sleep cycle technically, so that's why people can't sleep during the day. But do you think that they have the windows open to show the sun? No, they have blackout curtains. So it basically simulates like they're in the dark, so it's easier for them to go to sleep that way.
Booga.
Yeah, that's when Boo comes out and he's like, race on my racetrack.
Who is Boo and why does he say that?
Mario Kart,
Oh.
and he has his own track.
King Boo. You just said Boo comes out, and I'm like, who is Boo?
They didn't always call him King Boo, okay? He actually wasn't always
Is he
King
your
Boo.
Boo? What do you mean he wasn't always King Boo? He wasn't
wasn't.
always a king?
No.
He was just Boo?
He was just Boo because he wasn't always wearing that crown. Like in the older Mario Karts, I don't remember him
But
with
his
that crown.
name has always been King Boo.
Has it? Well, we'll get fucking confidential coverage.
Maybe they just decided to put a crown on him. I don't know. But I'm pretty positive his name has always been King Boo.
Oops. What in the hell? Villains Wiki? Ooh. What is this? No, we're not trying to look. Oh, I don't want to hit that. Dude, this is going to be the advertisement website too.
Damn, look at him. He looks
Boss
scary.
Boo. Oh, yeah. Actually, just about all of them. Oh, except for here. Due to a mistake, in Super Mario 64 DS, they called him Big Boo.
But that was because of a mistake. It wasn't because his name
Actually,
is
yeah.
actually Big Boo.
He was always king. Yeah, you
Yeah.
would be correct on that.
King Boo.
Dude, you gotta
Sticking
love.
his tongue out.
Look at that
with them
appearance.
sharp ass teeth.
Oh, dude, he's got different versions. Oh my god.
That's the
Here's
devil
another one
version.
of his.
Approved.
And another one. What? Law and Order's even on here.
Dun dun.
King Boo is gonna be residing your case today.
Oh, King Boo. They need to make it. Have you seen the? No, probably not, because
Nope.
you don't watch movies. But
I
the
watch
Mario movie that they made.
I haven't seen that one though. Peach. I know that though. Peaches. Yeah, I know.
You said peach.
I know.
Fake
I
fan.
was. What did you call me? A pig fan?
I said a fake
Oink,
fan.
oink.
fake fan.
Yeah, well, I'm not really. I have not seen the movie. I've heard that it's good. Jack Black is in it. He's the one who sings the song.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
And he has a whole music video. That's what I saw. That's the thing I have seen that incorporates a little bit of the movie, but I haven't seen the movie. Unfortunate. I just don't watch children's movies. Thank you. And then they caught me last week watching the Lego movie, and they're like, he's lying. I haven't seen the Lego movie either. Well, actually, no. I think I have. I think I saw that one in theaters. It's been a little bit since I've seen it.
I've never seen any Lego movies ever.
I've played Lego games as well, too, and have played with Legos. Luckily, I'm not 99 yet. Yee.
I've played with Legos, but adult Legos.
Oh, yeah, you kind of put your foot toward it. It is on the table. That's made out of Legos.
I built that one.
I build that one. Are you an AI bot? What's going on there?
That reminds me of that video where she's like, I have purse. And he's like, I have purse, I have shoe, I have hat on head. What you have, Kels?
I feel like I've heard this one before.
It was like a popular TikTok sound, but it was from a podcast, I think. And they were talking, and she... Oh my god, why is that thing moving?
What?
Do you see it?
This?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I wonder if the light is too hot and it's actually like burning it.
No, it's a ghost.
I don't know.
Because it's not the air, the fan's not on, and there's no way the air is blasting that hard that it would make that thing move.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's the light. I don't know. That one is actually messed up, though. One of the rod, well, that one is too, because I could see the rod through it, but that rod is actually messed up on it.
There's a ghost in here, guys. It's moving we have like an umbrella in front of the light, and it's moving the little umbrella flap.
Do you think it's the FBI? Comment below. Because we think it is. Law and Order certified.
Dun dun. King Boo just pops out.
Yeah, King Boo, he was an okay driver. I actually did use him to win the 200cc that they had on Super Mario Kart 8. That's the only one that I've gotten all of them done, and I'm a master at that game. I'm sure if I got back on it, play me on Let's Games, which will be coming soon. Yeah, you got a sneak peek. It's not just, I'm figuring out how we're going to do Let's Games, but that will definitely be something that's coming up in the future. We'll probably have somebody else for it, like that will run a lot of it, but I'm sure we'll have our own little episodes that we could have of that too.
Hey guys, watch me kill these rad scorpions.
It would be interesting. I mean, the Fallout that I'm playing currently on the computer, the old one, it's interesting because it has a lot of the dynamics of Fallout 3 in it, and I'm like, that's cool. Even though it is a weird like looking map and it's like an old school type of computer game, it's very cool that it's still, the dialogue is similar, your choices, the different like quests and tasks to do.
I mean, you don't be getting up close to people's faces like you do on there. For some reason, they're just like staring at you.
Oh yeah, there's only certain people. It's like the main type of characters that they use where they do that. But it's been an interesting game so far. I like.
It looks boring.
Yeah, well, to you it is because you're not about the story apparently.
There was no story. You were in a rad scorpion cave and you kept getting killed.
Don't tell them that.
And then you went and recruited that guy and he just stood there.
I found, okay, so before I died on another occasion, I had a dog that I randomly found that somebody just gave to me. I'm like, oh, dog meat's with me.
Wait, so you got 2 companions?
I don't know if I can have 3 because this other one that I did, I found some guy that was in this town and now I have 2 of the people following me. And it's people. Whereas in the other Fallouts, you can't have too many people a part of your companion.
You can only have 1 companion.
You can have 2 on Fallout New Vegas if they are a dog or a robot, and then you can have a human. But you can't have more than that. You can't have 2 humans.
Not on 4, though.
Not on 4,
On 4, you have to pick 1 companion.
I think it is 1. And 3 is 2 as well. You can have dog meat, and you can have... Oh, gosh. Can I remember those companions' names? I know there's one from, like, the Hell area that's there. It's like the Underworld. I forgot his name though. It's been a while since I've done that one. You have a Brotherhood of Steel person, I know, is another one that you can get. That one's also in Fallout New Vegas, where you can get a Brotherhood of Steel. You can get that chick.
4.
Yeah, and there's a Brotherhood of Steel in this one too.
So they've kept up basically with the original.
Yeah, Brotherhood has always been a part of it, and they talked about Nevada on this one too.
Where is this one technically set?
I don't know. I should have looked that up when that person said that, because they said, whoa, that's far from here. So I'm wondering if it's also in Boston, like how 3 is, but I have to look up.
But if they're talking about Nevada, like, why are they...
Well, no, they said that they came from Nevada.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking like maybe this tied into like the NCR stuff, because the NCR would be the new California Republic, kind of like how the show is. By the way, the show... I've watched some of the first episode. I do not like it.
Of what?
Of Fallout.
They have a show?
They have a show.
Oh.
I know. I thought the same thing, and I was like, I'll try watching it. I already don't like it.
Which Fallout does it follow? Or is it...
Exactly. I think it follows 4, because they start off where they have like the cereal at the table, and they have kids playing around. This is kind of where they moved the entertainment part of it, because it wasn't really like that. They were showing pre-war, and then whenever they started dropping the nukes, they're like, we gotta run and get to the vault, and it's vault number 33, which Fallout 1's is vault 13. That's where you start out at.
Which Fallout has 33 though?
None. But do you know the implication of the number though? 33 is the number of influence. So I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, why would they choose that? Also, Taylor Swift is 33 years old. What's the connection?
She's not. Is she a guest star in that show?
No. But I thought it was interesting that they chose 33, because that is like one of the most powerful numbers that you can use. And it's interesting because why are they coming out with the show now? Like, why are they getting funding now?
It's becoming more popular for, like, video games to become shows. I mean, look at The Last of Us. That did really well.
Yeah.
And people are still waiting for season 2, which I don't even think, maybe they've started filming already? I'm not sure. But, I mean, it did really, really well. I actually really liked it. And I feel like it's hard for me to, like, especially once you've done something, like, when it's, like, watching a movie and then reading the book, like, you're always gonna like one more than the other. But I love the game and I love the show. Like, I think they did a phenomenal job on the show. But I feel like it's also really hard, because the Uncharted movie, absolutely horrible. And they set up for a second movie, and I'm like, I hope that they just never make it, because the first one sucked really bad. But I feel like it's just hard to like make something into something else, like going from video game to movie or video game to TV show, because people are always going to critique it like, it's not the same.
That is very true, because I've seen that. I mean, when you said books to movies, I have a few where I'm like, yeah, I like the movie over the book, or some where I like the book over the movie. Like, for instance, Harry Potter is a lot easier to get through with the movie than it is with the book. But there are books like, I feel like I should know this, because they made a movie with this is where I agree with you, actually, this movie. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, and there's a book based off The Green Light.
The Great Gatsby.
The Great Gatsby, exactly. I thought they did a great job, and not only just on the Leonardo DiCaprio one, the old one too, the original one.
I just feel like movies are easier to digest, especially when the book is just like, I mean, The Great Gatsby is more like literature, so I get why it's set up the way it is, but it's easier for people to digest when you're speaking in human. That's what I'm going to call it.
All right, you got an interesting language choice. So this one says Fallout 1 is in New California. So why did he say he was traveling that far? That ain't that far. Also, I've never seen this part. Oh my God, they have sentry bots on here? Oh no. New California is also Fallout 2. They look very similar. It's probably definitely the expansion. And then they have the Brotherhood of Steel tactic one. This one's, I think, made in 2001 or something. But it's going to be interesting going through those games and kind of following the storyline of Fallout. And
Aren't
that
the other,
entirety.
well, New Vegas is obviously in Vegas, but isn't 3 and 4, aren't they in Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them are in Boston. That one's in Vegas. I forgot what oh no, I was about to say
And those are in
GTA.
California, so then is the new Fallout going to be set somewhere different? And then the two Fallout, or the Fallout that follow...
Oh my God, hyperventilating.
The
Get the asthma.
The Fallout that follows that one would be the same. Like, it seems like they do a double, like California, California, and then for some reason Vegas is randomly thrown in there. And then they have Boston, Boston. So then is it going to be...
It's just easier to
what's next?
probably run off of that part of the line. And plus, they have to create a whole new map if you think about it too. And
Yeah,
how
but
long?
you're creating a whole new game to begin with, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you know how long they take to come out with them?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's also because these studios that work on them, they don't just work on that one game. They have a
Yeah, I was
bunch
about
of
to say
different games.
Skyrim is a whole other role-playing map that's even larger. Like the difference between, well, Oblivion is very long too. Oblivion is very old school as well. Kind of like these Fallout games, but it's number one, it's on a console, but number two, it does have the grainy factors, but it's more, there's more realism to it. There's more first person, third person views. It's not like how it's been showing on my computer where it's like, it looks like your old school dungeons types of games that you would play online. That's exactly what it looks like. And that's where people would be drawn away. But again, I want to understand the story because I really do like Fallout. The show, I probably need to watch the whole first episode. Somebody was talking about how they were like, I don't understand how the ghouls came up and started attacking these people. I'm like, what? That's a part of the game. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
but people that have never played the game that just watch the series, they're not going to understand
Yeah,
that.
because it was
Like,
confusing to
People
them.
that have watched the show The Last of Us but never played the games, I'm like, ooh, y'all gonna cry beginning of season 2 because the beginning of the second game, I won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but it's sad.
Yeah.
But people that have already played the game, like you get the basis of what it's going to be about. But the thing that I like that they did with The Last of Us is they went into the side character stories. Because you don't really get a lot of that in the game because you're basically following the person that you're playing. But in the show, they're able to delve into the side characters and their stories a little bit more. And I think that's what they did right with The Last of Us versus Uncharted. Ugh.
Yeah. Which we'll get more into all of those as we've brought up gaming quite a bit on here too. We've definitely played games and we sometimes, I mean, we're currently playing some now, but I mean, we're not in any sort of regard like, yeah, streaming games, but we will be doing something like that coming up forward. I actually used to edit videos before for gaming, and that's what I'm going to learn more of is editing process. We got we're going to have a new camera coming in right there in the middle too. It's going to be so bougie. I'm so excited for it. Not just the middle there, but like skits and the abilities that it will have, like they will see. Like that's what I'm looking at. It's like, how can I up the quality of what we have now, even with lighting? So that's even if they get this because we're recording in 8K on like 2 of the phones. So I don't think they're lasting like an hour. So that will be all for today. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you don't even see this video, I mean, not see this video, you don't see this part of the video, just know that it was here. Goodbye.
Bye.
I see us fade away. You just love wasting time. Out on my sleeve.